There was a lot of talk after Russell Wilson was named the starter over Justin Fields that the locker room wasn't happy about it, that Mike Tomlin doesn't know what the hell he's doing. This is the wrong move. And Russell Wilson has come in. This offense has been very good with Russell Wilson as the starting quarterback. How do you see the Steelers right now?
I see the Steelers right now as a completely different team than they were the last 2 years, John, and that's because of Russell Wilson. There was obviously a lot of unknown there. His tenure in Denver was tumultuous, right? And he wasn't 40 years old, but he was 35 years old, not a spring chicken anymore. Steelers were 4-2 with Justin Fields. Do you make that move to Russell Wilson? Do you upset a good thing? They're 6-1 now with Russ. They've got a top 5 offense with Russ. Russell Wilson already has more passing touchdowns than the Steelers quarterbacks combined last season. I mean, it is a completely different looking offense. Arthur Smith, the new offensive coordinator, deserves credit for that as well, too. Russell Wilson has come in and he has – listen, Justin Fields did well. And I think those 6 games that Justin Fields played are going to afford him another opportunity to be a QB1, even if that's not in Pittsburgh, in his future, because his contract expires at the end of this season anyways. But Russell Wilson has taken a team that has consistently won 9 or 10 games over the last few years, and even at the end of the Ben Roethlisberger era, snuck into the playoffs and gone one and done, to now it feels like, okay, legitimately, they've got the defense, they've got some playmakers, they've got a quarterback who is not a top 5 quarterback in the league anymore, certainly, but he knows what it takes to lead a team, he knows what it takes to win games, and it is a completely different outlook. I mean, the Steelers were in the playoffs last year. No one thought they were going to do anything. We're going to go up to Buffalo, and we're going to get smoked, and we're going to be one and done. The Steelers were on the verge of the playoffs the year before Kenny Pickett's rookie season. Do we really need to sneak in and get blown out in the first round? This year, people feel like the Chiefs are vulnerable. The Bills are great, but they've got their flaws as well, too. Win the division, host a home playoff game, go from there, and you've got maybe as good a chance as anybody in the AFC to go on a run.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. The upside. I have a friend, he's in our fantasy league, so I'm always the one that's going back and forth with him. And I'm waiting for the Russ bus wheels to fall off. And they haven't. I'm like, this is going to be the week. He threw a pick 6. Was that last week he threw the pick 6 or 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago. Yeah, first series against Cincinnati,
the Bengals.
First series of the game. Yep.
And he throws for 400 some odd yards after that. So the wheels haven't fallen off. You know, when you look at Russell's numbers last year in Denver, you would have thought that he would have had a great year. But if you pay closer attention to what he was doing, Charlie checked down. He wasn't challenging anybody down the field. It seems like, and Steelers are a great organization, it seems like he knows exactly what he's supposed to do here. He's throwing a good deep ball. He's throwing some good intermediate passes, and they make the commitment. I don't think Najee Harris is a great back. He's been better this year. But they're going to run the football. They're not going to – Russell's not going to have to throw the ball 50 times a game. And it seems like this is a formula that's working. And frankly, I'm surprised. I thought he was cooked. And Wes, I don't know how many times I've pronounced the Steelers dead from this is the year they're not 500. And damn it, Mike Tomlin, man, every year. So how do you view Mike Tomlin? Because my Steeler friends, a lot of them, don't like Mike Tomlin. And it's almost like Andy Reid in Philadelphia. How could you want Andy Reid out of here? Well, bro, I had Reid fatigue. It was time to move on. Mm-hmm. How good of a coach is Mike Tomlin? How do you view Mike Tomlin? How does the average Steeler fan look at Mike Tomlin?
Well, Mark, see, I don't think this will surprise you. Anytime I do a guest appearance like this in another town, in another city, what's the pulse of Mike Tomlin? What's the opinion on Mike Tomlin is usually the first or the second question. Divided, but I don't think it is definitely the minority that is waiting to jump on Mike Tomlin as soon as the Steelers lose a playoff game and see he can't get it done anymore, and all he's going to do is win 9 or 10 games and then go one and done in the playoffs. I think, though, now with the new outlook of this team, with what you see the Steelers can really be when they have a legit QB1, I think one thing you can't argue about Mike Tomlin, no matter how you feel about him, is that he has proven when he has a so-so, a mediocre quarterback, he can keep you in the hunt. He can win 8, 9, 10 games. When he has a top 10, top 12 quarterback, whether it's Roethlisberger, even Russell Wilson here, maybe around that 10 to 15 range, he can win you a lot of games and get you in position to contend. And I think that's all you can ask for in a coach. a lot of people like to weaponize that. Oh, we know Tomlin, nothing can ever happen to him because he's had 18 straight years without a losing season. He has gone 7 years without winning a playoff game. And
Right.
I know you know this. To Steelers fans, 7 years without winning a playoff game might as well be 70 years without winning a playoff game. And so I think most people see that nuance of he is an incredible leader of men. You see that on Hard Knocks. Everybody who's ever played for him who comes to the organization speaks about that. He does a great job Monday through Saturday of keeping those guys locked in, getting them in the right space. But there have been the shortcomings in the postseason. You can't deny that. And a lot of those shortcomings have been the defense laying eggs when the Steelers are supposed to be a defense-first franchise and Mike Tomlin is a defensive guy. I think this is really a crucial postseason for that perception. If the Steelers win a playoff game or two, but ultimately fall short, I think people will go, okay, they've got it moving back in the right direction. Russ is only 36 years old now. He's still going to come back for another year or two. They'll be effective. They've got the defense intact. They can maybe, have a little 2-3 year mini window here. If the Steelers go one and done in the playoffs again, it's like, look, they changed the offensive coordinator. They changed the entire quarterback room, and this guy still can't win in the playoffs. Maybe it is some of that Andy Reid type fatigue where he's a good coach, but it's just time to go different directions. I do think now more Steelers fans are leaning towards giving him the benefit of the doubt. But you're right. There's always been a loud faction that the moment something goes wrong is ready to get Mike Tomlin up out of there and point out how long it's been since he's had real postseason success.